Hello and welcome to the Freq Show. This is episode 31. Today we're going to be talking about the healing power of solfeggio frequencies. This is a solo episode. As you can see, if you're watching on YouTube, Sam is not here, but I'm so excited today to talk to you about frequency and specifically solfeggio frequencies. As you know, Sam and I love frequency. It has been instrumental in our lives. Our podcast is called The Freq Show, FREQ, short for frequency. We have an app called the Freq App, FREQ, short for frequency. And we have several things that we are planning on launching that also coincide with the power of frequency. So today I wanted to hop on the mic and give a little background information on the solfeggio frequencies, just a little bit of their history so that we can have a good understanding of their background, why they're important, and their capabilities or their potential capabilities, and then also how you can incorporate them into your life and increase the very frequency that you live on. So let's dive in. I want to talk about some of the ancient origins of solfeggio frequencies. And again, this little history lesson is short, just a few minutes, but I feel like it's appropriate as we build on this information to have this foundation. But the solfeggio frequencies have roots in ancient spiritual practices. Gregorian chants from the 9th and 10th centuries are believed to have used harmonic tones that helped monks connect deeply with divine energies. How cool is that? Frequency to connect to the divine. And while we can't definitively say what these exact frequencies were that were used, the chants were known for their healing and meditative properties. And if you've ever listened to a Gregorian chant, then you can attest to that. There's something about listening to that harmony, that tone, and the combination of the harmonies and tones that hits you deeply in the chest, and it makes you feel something. I also want to talk about Dr. Joseph Puleo. So, fast forward from the 9th and 10th centuries to the 1970s, and Dr. Joseph Puleo rediscovered the solfeggio frequencies while studying mathematical patterns in the Bible's book of Numbers. He believed that these frequencies were hidden within the text and reintroduced them to modern sound healing practices. While his findings are more widely embraced in alternative healing circles, they've reignited interest in how sound frequencies can impact our health. One important point to note: I think it's very interesting that he discovered these or rediscovered these while studying a book of the Bible, specifically Numbers, yet these are widely used in alternative healing practices, even though there are biblical ties. And so often, people with biblical ties are more into allopathic medicine, but I'm wondering if frequency could create a bridge between the allopathic and homeopathic. Maybe. All right. Then let's go back again into ancient civilizations and sound healing. There's also speculation that ancient civilizations, such as the Egyptians and Greeks, use sound healing techniques in their spiritual and medical practices. Not just their spiritual practices, you heard me correctly, in their medical practices. While the direct link to solfeggio frequencies is speculative, we do know that sound was integral to their rituals. For example, ancient Egyptians used the sistrum, a sacred rattle, in ceremonies to invoke divine energies. I've also heard that in the pyramids, there were frequency rooms used for healing. It boggles my mind how cool this, and I'm doing this in air quotes, technology is, because I don't even know that you would consider it technology. I think the way that we're approaching it now so often is used via technology. But I think this is as old as time. When God created the earth, God created frequency, and we're just now at the tip of the iceberg, chipping away at how to understand how truly effective and how deeply effective these frequencies could be. I now want to talk about somatics and sacred geometry. This is all like Michelangelo. What was that movie with Tom Hanks? The Da Vinci Code. This is what it feels like. I'm like diving into the Da Vinci Code here. But somatics, the study of visible sound vibrations, shows how sound frequencies can create intricate geometric patterns in materials like sand and water. I want to say that again because it's so cool. Somatics, the study of visible sound vibrations, shows how sound frequencies can create intricate geometric patterns in materials like sand and water. And many researchers believe that these patterns resemble forms found in nature. We are all so connected, you guys. So connected. While modern interpretations make the link to solfeggio frequencies, it's a powerful reminder that sound shapes more than just our hearing. It may shape our reality. Somatics shows us that sound creates structure, almost like it's forming the blueprint of reality. And it's fascinating to think of sound in this way. I mean, imagine studying somatics. You put on a frequency, it creates this beautiful pattern, and you can also see this beautiful pattern reflected in nature. Do you see how all of this is so deeply connected, and the possibilities for physical, mental, spiritual healing is just infinite? So I want to now move from the history and some of the factual stuff about solfeggio frequencies into a more personal interpretation of frequency. It was maybe 3 or 4 years ago. No, it was 4 years ago now that I started to just peripherally study frequency. And if you think about it like this, our bodies are primarily water. And frequency carries a vibration, and vibration reacts with water. You can physically see it react. But then when you also bring in this idea of somatics and sacred geometry, you can see how frequency has the potential to literally create shifts in our body. I saw something recently about frequency being played over somebody who had, I believe it was liver cancer. And you could watch as the tumor, that liver cancer tumor, started to shrink from frequency. So this stuff is big. This is really, really exciting. And when I first started paying attention to frequency, listening to frequency, I realized I could feel it in my body. And the impetus behind me getting interested in frequency was I was on a healing path. I always am and will be for the rest of my life. But I had been diagnosed with Hashimoto's in 2020. And I wanted to see if frequency could affect my Hashimoto's. And so I was playing a frequency that was related to thyroid health. And immediately I could feel a shift in my physical neck. And that is when I think I just started to become not obsessed, but just so fascinated by the potential of frequency healing. Another great example of using frequency and experiencing a lot of frequency is as we created the Freq app, because each calibration within the app has a specific frequency for it. So we wrote all of these beautiful messages, and then based on what we wanted someone to feel at the end of the message, chose a specific frequency to match that message. One of them being 528 Hz, which is often called the miracle frequency. If you want to experience more frequency today, I would highly encourage that you download the Freq app. It is out, it is available, and there are calibrations that we add every single month that are geared to helping you heal your own mind. The intention behind this app is to use powerful messages that help you reframe and heal your thoughts combined with frequency to help it go layers and layers and layers and layers and layers deeper, with the end result hopefully being healing our minds so that we can heal our lives. So that's just a side note. If you want to dive into more frequency work and experience it firsthand, download the app. I'm also at the end of this podcast episode going to put in one of our short calibrations. So if you don't want to actually download the app yet, but you want to experience a calibration, just keep listening through the end of this episode and that calibration will be tacked on to the end. And I'll probably do it in 528 too, so you can experience the miracle frequency. Let's now talk about the science and spiritual impact of the Solfeggio frequencies. So, scientifically speaking, frequency affects brain waves and the nervous system. Again, we're primarily water. When frequency is added to water, you can literally see the ripples in it. So, you can imagine when frequencies are played, it affects our brain waves and it affects our nervous system. Also, solfeggio frequencies, as they relate to spiritual healing, are believed to release blockages and align energy centers in the body. How cool is that? So they're believed to release blockages and align energy centers in the body. For example, 396 hertz is said to help release guilt and fear, while going back to 528, it's associated with transformation and DNA repair. You guys, DNA repair. So each frequency, and of course, this is how God created it, but each frequency has a specific purpose, whether it's letting go of negative energy or bringing you into alignment with higher vibrations. The way that God created the earth is just astounding, and that is perfectly in line with how frequencies are as well. Every frequency has a specific purpose. All right, so how can you use frequency in daily life? This is actually quite simple, guys. Download the Freq app. We have an area that is simply just frequencies. You can have them playing in the background whenever you want. And on each frequency, there's a specific title for how it is intended to make you feel. You can also go into any other area of the app if you want to feel more joy, if you've just spent time with really challenging people, there are frequencies for that. If you want to feel calm, if you want to feel serene, we have, I think, 21 categories of different frequencies. And then we also have activities. So you also don't have to have the app. You can find frequencies elsewhere, but you can listen to frequency while you're on a walk, while you're cooking dinner, while you're taking a shower, while you're getting your kids ready for school, while you're winding down for bed. You can listen to frequency while you're working. It is not, frequency does not detract from what you're doing in any way. It's not distracting. Sometimes when I listen to music, if I'm doing a task that requires a lot of focus and thought, I can't listen to anything with lyrics because my mind wants to go to the lyrics. Frequency is not that way. When you listen to just frequency, it creates, again, harmony. So you can listen to frequency literally any time of day. You can listen to frequency all day long. And again, you can easily access frequency via our app. So I want to conclude with a couple of thoughts and then also, again, remind you that there will be a calibration at the end of the episode that you can access for free, just so you can get a little appetizer of what we are all about and what we want to bring to the world. I want to thank you for joining me in talking about the solfeggio frequencies. I think that, again, we are just tapping the tip of the iceberg on what frequency is going to do in the next decade, in the next century. I think the options, I think it's absolutely limitless what could happen. I also think that it's incredible how just a few minutes of sound, can create such an exponential shift in how you feel. And I hope that if nothing else, after listening to this podcast episode, you will experiment a little bit with solfeggio frequencies, whether that's listening to Gregorian chants through our app, trying to find them on YouTube or elsewhere. They're so powerful and they make you feel different. And so I would highly encourage you to follow your curiosity and see where it leads you as it relates to frequency. All right. That's all I have for you today. I want to thank you for being here and learning about frequencies with me, and specifically the Solfeggio frequencies. And now I will add on a 528 Hz calibration for your enjoyment. Let me know what you think. You can contact me on social media at Jaclyn Steele or at Beck and Living. You can also email me at hello@beckandliving.com. And if you do already have the app, I would love your feedback. What do you want more of? What do you want less of? We created this to be a helpful tool, to be something that people continually reach for to make their lives better. So we welcome and we honor your feedback. Thank you for tuning in. This is the Freq Show. I'm Jaclyn Steele, and I wish you the best day. Live on purpose, live on frequency, and I'll catch up with you in the next episode. Board the frequency of belief. Dearest listener, I know what it's like to have a dream. I know what it's like to have many dreams. And I know what it's like to feel like a hot air balloon rising in the sky, fueled simply by my beautiful dream. I also know what it feels like to have doubt, to feel like that beautiful dream is being snuffed out, like the very breath in your lungs is being squeezed from your body as you see that dream drift further and further away. But dearest listener, I'm here to tell you that you have this dream for a reason. It was planted in you by something greater than our minds can fully comprehend. And it was given to you specifically because you can realize this dream in a way no one else can. Dreams are not frivolous. Dreams are not foolish. Dreams are not just for children. Dreams are not only sequences we experience in our sleep. Dreams are glimpses of what's possible, planted in our hearts, waiting to be watered and shown the light of day. What is it that stands between you and realizing your dream? Is it time? Money? Fear of what others may think? Fear of failure? A scarcity complex? The negative thought that it's already been done? Dearest listener, what if I told you the only thing standing in your way is you? What if I told you that the only thing between you and the actualization of your dream is self-belief? Well, it's true. And I know it to be true in my bones. Because time is an illusion. You have enough of it. Money, it can be made and raised and figured out. And what others think is none of your concern, especially when your dream has been planted in you by your creator. And failure? I think failure is a good thing. It points us in the right direction and is often one of our greatest teachers. And scarcity? Scarcity is also an illusion. It's in our heads, and the notion that something has already been done, it's a moot point because no one will execute your dream like you. You want to realize your dream? Believe in yourself and take the next step. You want to bring those beautiful ideas to life? Good. Believe in yourself and take the next step. You want to live bigger than anyone you know does? Believe in yourself and take the next step. You want to see what you are made of and find your growth edge? Believe in yourself and take the next step. Research that ingredient. Call that business owner. Create a time for that meeting. Visit that space. Put your hands on that land. Read books on the subject. Write a plan. Execute on the plan.
Do something daily to get you closer and closer to that dream becoming a reality. It doesn't matter how big it is. It doesn't matter how small it is. What matters is that it matters. And what matters is that it's yours. And it's up to you how you proceed. The frequency of belief is yours to hop on. It's like a train car running past your mind with an open door and a schedule that never stops operating. It's just waiting for you to hold out your arm and pull yourself inside. You can operate on the frequency of belief whenever you want to. All you have to do is decide what it is that you want, act on it, and believe relentlessly that it will be yours. It also doesn't matter what your circumstances are right now, because you are resilient. You can overcome. You are bigger than your past. You are bigger than your failures. You are capable of more than you can even comprehend. You have limitless potential, and the only limit that can ever be placed on you is one that you accept as your own. You have permission to reject limits. You have permission to confidently put one foot in front of the other and walk toward the life you are dreaming of. Envision the reality of your dream. Feel what it feels like to live inside of it. Dearest listener, your dream is possible. It's all possible. All you have to do is decide what you want, act on it, and believe relentlessly that it will be yours. All you have to do is decide what you want, act on it, and believe relentlessly that it will be yours. All you have to do is decide what you want, act on it, and believe relentlessly that it will be yours. Now feel what it feels like to live this dream. Feel what it feels like to have accomplished what you set out to do. The pride you're going to feel. Feel what it feels like to be totally at peace and content with your life. Feel what it feels like to love your life. All you have to do is decide what you want, act on it, and believe relentlessly that it is yours. All you have to do is decide what you want, act on it, and believe relentlessly that it is yours. All you have to do is decide what you want, act on it, and believe that it will be yours. This is the frequency of belief, and it is yours every single day for the taking. Live on purpose, live on frequency.
Thank you so much for listening to The Freq Show with Sam Thurmond and me, Jaclyn Steele Thurmond. We would love to connect with you via our website, beckonliving.com, and on social media.
You can find us on Instagram and TikTok at Beck and Living, and you can join our email list to receive uplifting messages, podcast and business updates, and discounts on high-frequency products just for our freaky community.
Cheers to high-frequency living.